All right, the last step in your essay. You have written your intro paragraph, you have written your body paragraphs. You are now finally concluding your thoughts. You're into your conclusion paragraph. And while it might be easy to just be lazy or just wrap it up really quickly, your conclusion paragraph is really your last chance to make a closing argument to your audience. This is really where the rubber meets the road, the strongest paragraph perhaps of your entire essay. So let's see how you should structure it according to the It's Really Fun essay structure. Okay, F for fun. Now these are some big words, so I want to cover it with you. Formulate major claim in a new fashion to remind the audience of the essay's purpose. So you are now into your conclusion paragraph. You should only be here if you have demonstrated an entire line of logic in support of your major claim. So you've major claim. That's how you ended your introduction paragraph. You have now, quote unquote, proven your major claim through an entire line of body paragraphs, each that built on one another. Okay? Point A, B, C, each significant upon one another. Very much like if you have to do a proof in geometry. Okay? That line of thinking. Okay? So you've already gotten there. So now it's time to remind your audience of what, again, you're aiming to prove. You need to remind them. What was I proving again? What was the point of the essay? Okay, but you don't want to do so verbatim, which means word for word. You don't want to just copy and paste your major claim. You also don't want to just do basic paraphrasing. You don't want to just take your same thesis or major claim and rephrase a few words. You want to present it in an entirely new fashion because you're reminding them of what the ideas were. You might even do so across multiple sentences. You might not just need one sentence to do this, but you want to remind them what was included in your things. It's like, okay, now that I've seen all of these points that prove it, here again, now you know. So I can state this as truth, right? What did I say in the introduction paragraph? You always state your major claim as definite truth, as if you know what you are talking about and this is the reality of life on this topic or on this book or on whatever it is you're arguing on. So now you want to rephrase it and you want to remind the audience what was the essay's purpose. The purpose was to prove this claim. What claim were you seeking after? What was important to you, okay? You want to restate the ideas as a reminder to your audience, not a copy and paste of your argument in a new way, in a new fashion, okay? Then you want to unify all of the relevant evidence into one closing argument. Think about, I'm going to go to the same analogy, when you have a trial, right? You've seen all the witnesses, they've presented their sides, both sides have presented their arguments, right? And what they have to say, they've pulled up pieces of evidence, they've pulled up witnesses, etc., etc., etc. Finally, what do they get? They get a closing argument. This is, a 5-minute window to remind the audience, or in this case, the jury, everything that they've seen and why everything they've seen has proven their argument, okay? That's what you're trying to do here. So your conclusion paragraph is very much a reflection of your introduction paragraph. In your introduction paragraph, you gave the idea, you gave a preview of what you're going to cover, and then you said your thesis or your major claim. You're going to do the opposite, kind of, in your conclusion paragraph. It's going to be a reflection, okay? So in your intro paragraph, you ended with your major claim. In your conclusion paragraph, you start with your major claim. And then, very much like you previewed your minor claims in your introduction paragraph, without substantiation. So without substantiation means without any evidence. You just said it. You just previewed it. You were letting them know what you were going to prove. Now you can review those same exact minor claims, having already, quote unquote, proved them to your audience. So in your introduction paragraph, you said, this is what I'm going to prove. This is what I'm going to show. Now in your conclusion paragraph, you're saying, this is what I've shown. all right? A lot of times some of you will hear when you talk about speeches or something, tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you've told them, right? You've previewed it, you've covered it, now you're reviewing it. You're making one last pulling together unified argument to say, see all of this evidence I've given you? This is how it proves my major claim, okay? So review and connect all of the minor claims to demonstrate once and for all how you have proven your major claim, okay? This is where you leave the major claim, you have it nice and strong, okay? Now you've done that. You've proven it. They all believe you, all right? You have one last step still. You still have one last step, which is N. Name real-world connections and construct significance for the essay. You just had your audience spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe 30 minutes reading your essay. You want to tell them why they care. And they should care. There's a reason that you made them read this essay, right? So you can now suppose that your audience believes that you have proven your major claim as best as you can, okay? Right now, you should have laid a very good line of logic down, and we should all be on the same page as you. We should all believe you, okay? So now you need to make your audience feel good about having spent their time to read your essay. You need to answer for your audience the so what. All right, your major claim is true. So what? Why do I care? What's the significance? Why did you make me read this essay? Why am I going to walk away feeling good about having read this essay instead of feeling like I wasted my time learning about, the construction of a toothpick? What is the significance? What should we walk away from, okay? So you need to tell your audience why they should care that your major claim is true and what you believe they should do about it. So sometimes you're going to give them a call of action. You're going to say, okay, this is true, so write your congressman today, or change your eating habits today, or maybe it's just a lesson. We can all apply the same lesson to our lives, or something like that. Why do they care? And you can get really, really detailed, okay? You cared about this. You came up with this original idea. Your major claim is original. It was your viewpoint. You thought it was interesting, right? So maybe this is just, maybe you just leave them with, we need to do further research on this topic. Or maybe you say, we can all learn from the example of this person. But you need to tell them why they care. You've set up an argument. You've proven that argument. You've reminded them of your argument. Now, great. If we were thinking about a trial, why do we even ever have a trial? We have a trial to decide not whether or not someone is guilty, because that's the first step, but then we sentence them. We either let them free or we send them to jail. And we decide how long they go to jail, right? There's a real life application as to why it matters whether or not this person is guilty. In the same way, your major claim should have a real life application. You might need to stretch your mind a little bit. You might need to be a little bit imaginative to think about it. But every single major claim does have real world connections. And every essay should and can, I will argue, have significance. It's your job to find it. Okay, you have now completed your essay. Last step, you throw your hands up, you say hooray, you sleep on it for a night, and then what do? You go back and you reread the whole thing to make sure that it's as beautiful as it can be. All right, good job, guys.